Getting ready to put this thing back together again. We've gone ahead and tightened up the machine heads up in here and cleaned up the inside of the box. And then we've got the other side, the machine heads. Some of these are loose. I'm tightening them up. I cleaned up all this stuff. I don't know if you can see or not, but there's a couple of spots where the bridge was sitting before, and I think that's a little bit too far back. I think it needs to be up higher up here. It was back here. I think that's wrong. I put the pin back in, clean that all up. I got the other pieces ready to go. I cleaned up and redid the bridge. I don't know if you can see that or not. But I cleaned that up and fixed it. Still got a bit of a bow to it, I think. But I fixed the tops here. Filled them in with super glue and then recut the grooves so they're a little better. Now this is supposed to sit up this way. And the old position it was in is right here, which I think is a little too far back, because it's supposed to line up dead center with these guys. So I think it really belongs up about there. You can see the notches. That's supposed to line up in the middle. So that's where I'm going to put it. And that's almost a full distance up. And you can see where the bridge, that'll sit on the sound post correctly now. This foot should be just a little ahead of the sound post. This foot. And that's where that position would be. This here, it's right over the sound post. And I think that's the wrong, it's almost behind the sound post. I think that's the wrong position. So I'm going to move that up and try that out. I'm going to sand the feet down a little bit and see if I can't get that smoother and better fitting. Anyway, done. And here comes Patty. Okay, we're getting ready to get the base back together again now. I painted the tailpiece. I fixed the crack that was here. Looks pretty good. It's good enough, I think. It certainly won't be any worse than what it was. We cleaned up the other piece. We cleaned up the head up here. And all the winding places are now ready to go. And it's cleaned up inside. So all we got to do is run the strings through and start and get this restrung and get it going again tonight. So I've got the strings here ready to go. I've already passed it through the back of the tailpiece on the other end. All right, now I'm going to run it up to the front and put the first string in, the big string, whatever one that is, I forget. But we're going to do that right now. So we'll bring this up and go into the first hole. And we're going to start on the outside and wind, because that's what I saw in the instruction piece that I had. You see which way this is going. It's going the wrong way. So we've got to set this to wind the other way. We're going to start by winding out. I'm already running out of power. This is going to be a pain in the neck because it's very tight in there. All right, so we'll go a timeout here and just keep plowing by hand, I guess. Well, we started on the hardest winding string that I've got in the box. Now we're back to the bad side. See if we can't pass through it. There ain't much I can do about it now. Because if I let this go, it's going to be a real pain to get it going again. See how easy that other key turns? This one's being a brute. Pencil lead in each one of these places to lubricate the base string guide. Boy, I wish I started on the other side. Can I do this now? Just need to get a little tension on the bridge first. On the tailpiece. And then this has still got to come up. I had a hand winder for the base, but I don't. So anyhow, that's one string. All right, we've only got 8 million more to go. Now you can see the box, you can see the string, and you can see that string has got to go all the way down here and sit on that and go into the tailpiece, which we painted and glued back together, and that's how that's got to go. Now the bridge has got to line up with the notches in the F-holes. This is just a little bit off, so we got to get that seated correctly and be there. And we'll be back. Okay, we're back live again. Here we are. We got all the strings on, and you can see they're strung up the correct way so that the strings themselves line up in a good position with where they're going onto the neck. Okay, I think I got it pretty straight. We got the bridge up in the correct place now. It was where it was before. It was back here in the old days. Let me see if I can find those other footprints. The footprints were back here, and that's not where it belongs. Yeah, I can see the footprints here. So we moved it up a couple of inches. And I think we got the position as straight as we can. The bridge itself is bowed just a little bit that way from sitting for so long without being addressed. And you can see now the sound post is there behind the bridge where it belongs. So this should get a better sound. These are brand new strings. I fixed the crack in the tailpiece. That looks pretty good. Not great, not perfect, but hell, for the price we paid, a little bit of super glue, and then we spray painted it up. And I got this back in the original position it was in, so that should be good. Now the next thing we got to do is tune it up and see what happens. E, F, so it's a little high. D, E, pretty good, E, E, I forget. Okay, here we are, done. It's in tune, the strings are on, it's in good shape. That's as good as we can do it here in the shop. Looks pretty good. So I'm going to stand it up and see how well it plays. Not bad. All done. Like I just said, you may or may not have heard it, but we're all done, all strung up, looks pretty good. I'm going to stand it up now and see how well it plays. Stand it up and give it a test. It looks pretty clean. It looks fairly shiny. The surface is pretty good. All the parts are back. I rebuilt that tailpiece and put that stuff together. I repositioned, like I said, where this goes. And that's where it belongs, is right even in the middle of the notch on both sides. I think the bridge is fairly straight. It's leaning. I got a new bridge coming. And when that comes, we'll replace it and see if we can make it even better. Sound post is good. That's it.